Well, it happened. Second year in a row, second winter here in a row, our sewage line is frozen. Reason I'm talking about this while I'm outside is because I know he watches these videos. Guess where I'm going to go take my dump right now, Wilbert? I'll give you a hint. Your ass is not the only ass that's going to be on that toilet seat. I see your sign here, Wilbert. I see your sign here. But I must say, I'm disagreeing with it because this is the first time in years that I don't have a 6-year-old, a 13-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 140-pound dog, a 110-pound dog, or my wife coming into the washroom going, "What are you doing? Hurry up." This might be my new internet cafe. No, I'm shitting and splitting, don't worry. So I've talked before about how there is pros and cons to this job, and one of the pros is that your housing is provided. One of the cons is that your housing is provided. So in the South, you're paying rent and this and that, and say you have no sewage. Landlord has to fix it, and they have to fix it real quick. Your basement wall's collapsing and your foundation is about to give out. Landlord has to fix it. Here it's a taxable benefit. So they say they're landlords when they want to be landlords, and they say that it's like room and board when they don't want to deal with things. But what they do is they put a certain amount of money on your paycheck, and then they take it back to make it a taxable benefit. So you're paying taxes on that. It's artificially inflating your wages, so you're paying a higher tax bracket anyway. All that type of thing. Well, again, we're without sewage again. There are managers whose walls are caving in. There are managers whose houses should be condemned. There are again, it's a very interesting job. It's a very rewarding job in some ways, and you get to see a lot of things that you would never see, but there are pros and cons, and you have to decide how much stress you're willing to take. A lot of reasons a lot of people are leaving right now is things like this. This is the third time in 13 months that our sewage line has frozen. They sent somebody up in the middle of the winter to put a heat trace on the line, and I'm like, how are you getting to the line? There's like 2 feet of snow on the ground, and then the ground is frozen. He's like, yeah, I can't get to that line. We got to come back in the summer. They sent somebody back in the summer. They didn't do it. We got back from vacation. There was still like 2 months where the ground was soft, and we're like, nobody's done this. Oh yeah, they have. No, they haven't. So they sent somebody up to do it. He did a different sewage line because nobody talks to anybody, and nobody listens to the people that are actually in the building. And then they left, got paid. And I'm like, they didn't do it. Oh, yeah, they did. Now we're frozen again. And they're like, oh, but we did it. No, oh, that's what we were supposed to do. Oh, yeah, no, we didn't do that. It gets old. It gets old fast. It really does get old fast. It drains you doing this fight over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's the problem when you're in these places, because what happens is, unless you're a road store where somebody can just drive out to see you, you're so isolated that nobody gets it and nobody's there. So you're in these isolated places, you're telling them what's going on, but they're sitting in their cozy houses or cozy offices in Winnipeg, and they're like, well, there's nothing wrong here. I don't know why you're complaining. And again, nobody gets the stress that you're under. Nobody gets the living conditions you're under. And I mean, it's not like the living conditions are horrible. They're not. I've lived in worse places, but it's just so frustrating having the same fights. It's so frustrating having a truck who has not had a rear differential in almost 3 years now. There's been 3 years of managers fighting to get this truck fixed. And there's always some excuse. It's the truck that Alicia had an accident in because the rear differential doesn't work, so she went into a ditch. I have another truck that needs new tires, and it needs a heater and core, and it needs this, and nobody's here. And I can't... I can go unfreeze my line. I know how to. I've unfrozen it several times. We actually have some vlogs of us unfreezing that sewage line. If I go to unfreeze that sewage line, I'm going to unfreeze it, and I'm going to charge this company like $5,000 to do it. Because I'm playing in raw sewage again. Sure, it's my raw sewage, but... like, it's... So as of tomorrow, I'm exactly 2 weeks away from flying out to get ready to take possession of my house, which I take possession of on the 14th of February. I know the 14th of February is not 2 weeks after tomorrow, but on the 9th is when I fly out to start my vacation. I started planning to go out on the 9th in case weather happens, because I mean, we're weathered out today. Dennis couldn't come back to community yesterday because his flight was canceled due to weather. Today he might be as well, and our cargo was canceled today, Thursday, because of weather. So I like to make sure I have time in case something happens to get out. All that being said, I get stress bowel movements. I have no sewage at the house, so it's been a fun night so far. Plumber did call, and he's like, "Oh, we had no idea that your sewage line freezes." And then beside him is sitting the plumber that has come from his company twice to unfreeze it with me, and he's like, "Yes, we do, because I'm here and I've done it twice. It's in the basement. It's this." Like, you want to try that one again? You want to try that one again? You didn't know?